Good morning. We're going to be starting right at 7:30, so if you want to start moving onto your table, if you're not sure where your table is located, we have some great staff members in the back who can help you find your place. So we will be starting right at 2 minutes from now. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning, everybody. We're ready to get started. Give the last few people a second to sit down here. Good morning. My name is Leslie Horde. I am president of the board of directors for the Action Center. I welcome you to the Where Action Matters breakfast. We're so glad to have you all here today. We want to start this morning with an inspirational moment from our clients. We're going to play a video.
Eating at a real table with real silverware and dishes makes me feel like a real person again.
Thank you for helping to empower my children to get an education.
We have been struggling for so long, and you brought our household so much joy and relief.
My family has been progressing, slowly but surely, and I know with this help, we will only progress more.
You didn't just give me financial assistance so I could buy tools. You gave me hope.
Everyone here has a story. Everyone has a need. Thank you for the respect and the realization that we are all human.
A special welcome to those of you who have attended our Where Action Matters tour, our weekly tour of the Action Center. For those of you who have not experienced the tour at the Action Center or at our shelter, we invite you to experience our mission in action. Please see the back of your program for information on how to sign up for a tour. You'll be amazed at all the things that we do there. There are a couple of housekeeping items I would like to point out before we begin. The restrooms are out the back door and to the right. If you need anything from one of our servers, they're more than happy to help you, but please flag them down before the program begins. So catch them now. We would also like to we would also like to recognize several important groups here today. First, I want to recognize our sponsors who have helped to make this event possible. Thanks to their generosity, every facet of this event has been underwritten this morning. First Bank, Pinkard Construction, Duro Electric, Life Source Health Partners. Let's give thanks to these sponsors. And a special thanks to Crossroads Church for hosting the breakfast this morning. And my favorite part, I would also like to recognize the many volunteers with us today. We have more than 6,000 active volunteers this year. Including 80 volunteers each day at the Action Center. Last year, for the third year in a row, our volunteers contributed more than 100,000 hours of service, and they're on the way to do that again this year. Would all of the volunteers please stand up so we can thank you for your valuable gift of time. Wow, isn't that amazing? 100,000 hours. I would like to recognize the members of our Lakewood City Council who has joined us today. Please stand. Karen Harrison, Ramey Johnson, Sharon Vincent, and Dana Gutwein. We also have Jerry Pfeiffer from Ed Perlmutter's office with us today. Jerry. Did I miss any other elected officials? I think we're good. Thank you for joining us. Before we enjoy the breakfast provided by Footer's Catering, I want to mention the Know the Facts cards that are on your table. The numbers reflect our services provided in the year of 2015. I think some of you will be surprised at what you see. You may have also noticed the Ask Me About 84 buttons. I encourage you to find out about those. Please enjoy your breakfast, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Right there. Right with Marty. Good morning. The sun is shining. I thought when I woke up this morning, I thought maybe it was Tuesday again or something. This is breakfast morning. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you. My name is Mag Strittmatter, and it's my honor to be the executive director of this wonderful organization. Our theme today is Mission in Action. The mission of the Action Center is to provide an immediate response to basic human needs and promote pathways to self-sufficiency for residents of Jefferson County and the homeless. Please engage with me for a moment. Think back, think about a time in your life, a personal situation, where you either felt lost, abandoned, or totally vulnerable, where a life circumstance caught you by surprise, and in that moment, you were frozen in time. That was the case for my family, and the effects of it lasted for years. My parents had 6 children on a small family farm where we managed a decent life on a week-to-week basis. People generally don't plan for a severe health trauma, like my father's brain aneurysm, nor what they must do with the immediate loss of income and certain disability. In that moment, my mother faced the uncertainty of our own basic human needs. There was no place like the Action Center in our little community to give us a hand up. So she was saddled with solving it on her own. Our clients come to us because they are experiencing those same kind of uncertain life circumstances, and they need help to break through, to get through that first state of shock and find answers so that they, too, can find their own personal sense of self-sufficiency. You see, our mission statement is our North Star. It reminds us every day, if not us, then who will provide these much-needed services to our community? Our solutions provide support to thousands of parents and families in our community struggling to maintain or regain a sense of self-sufficiency, just like my mother. I know what it's like to watch parents in that struggle to make it another day and hear the voice of my mother in the kitchen late at night praying for a miracle to fill the breach so she could provide for her children, her now invalid spouse, and her own sanity. The stress for her was palpable. And we all changed from normal children and overnight became at-risk children. Every day, individuals and families come to us with stories far more poignant than my own. This is when we, as an organization, must flex and exercise our mission muscle and take precise action when clients can't. Many of us in this room know and remember what it is like to feel hopeless. But because of our remarkable donors, we have been blessed with support to achieve great things, and I am here to express my sincere gratitude for those accomplishments. 1 year has passed since we opened the doors to our 14,500 square foot program services building, featuring our intervention programs and our Pathways to Self-Sufficiency program. We lean into the core issues of those immediate barriers that keep neighbors from becoming self-sufficient. And as a result, over 25,000 neighbors have been touched by our caring services over the last year. Also, with more efficient space, we provide highly nutritious food options to clients in our 2,500 square foot self-select grocery with an award-winning food rescue program We provide quality fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy to our neighbors in a respectful and dignified manner. And our shelter program's aftercare component allows the center to continue to work more closely with shelter graduates for an additional 6 months to get more people back on the road to healthy independence. None of this would be possible without the leadership of our outstanding board of directors, without our dedicated and tireless staff, and of course, without those amazing and committed volunteers. Our progress over the past year has been considerable, but I know there is more that we can do. This mission holds within us an enormous responsibility to do our very best to serve those who need our care. But to do so requires us to strike a delicate balancing act, to serve our mission as fully as possible, but within the financial resources on hand. This includes compensating our wonderful staff, who give so much every day to make our mission come to life. Retaining top employees is critical to continuity and quality service delivery. Over a year ago, we had to do a reduction in force because of lagging operation contributions due to the capital campaign. It is taking time for us to recover from that decline. We are getting back to our original plan, but there's more financial work ahead. Balancing this financial equation is a weekly ongoing challenge for us. Ongoing expansion of our donor base is the method in which we will achieve our lofty goals. Without it, we may be forced to reduce our expenses further, limiting the amount of clients we could fully serve. Consider this. A $1,000 gift a year provides a family in our care with case management for 6 months. 5 gifts of $100,000 a year will cover the expense of our food rescue program each month. That $5,000 investment over 1 month accounts for over 100,000 pounds of healthy, fresh food for our hungry community. And because of food rescue last year alone, we provided over 638,000 meals to a hungry community. While we have challenges, it is important to remember those successes. 39-year-old Haley needed a job, housing, and a path forward after her options faded because of a divorce. Today, through her hard work, Haley is in her own apartment, she has a job, and she is working hard on her self-sufficiency. The work of the Action Center staff and volunteers helped make this happen for Haley. Without you and our many donors, there could be many Haleys who might have to struggle without our help. Please join me. Join me in the quest of a community committed to serving our neighbors with basics, but also leading them to become contributors themselves to a healthy and stable community. Our mission in action is dependent on our commitment to make a difference for all who need our help today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amy, as you just saw in the video. The Action Center played an important role in my recovery after my truck accident a few years ago. Before the accident, my life was completely different. I was a single mother of 3 children. I owned 2 horses, Smokey and Tipper, and I boarded another horse, Zappa. I rented 5 acres of land. I assisted with disabled kid riding lessons. I made chicken coops and sold them on Craigslist. I even previously worked on construction and hotel management. I was self-sufficient, financially independent. Unfortunately, after my accident, all changed. I was in the hospital for 4.5 months with traumatic brain injury after a motorcycle crashed into my door in my truck and came through the window when I was at a stop sign. I was in a coma for a month. I had 30 screws in my skull. I had screws in my jaw and chin, and my truck was totaled. And thankfully, I was alive. When I was in the hospital, my mom got custody of my girls because the doctors didn't know what kind of mental state I would be in once I woke up from a coma. After leaving the hospital, I moved in with my mom and her husband so I could be with my daughters. Unfortunately, my mom and I had difficulty living together, and I decided it was best for me to move out. Social Security only gave me $700 a month to live on in living expenses. I stayed in a hotel for 2 months, but my money started to run low. I knew I needed to find a safe and secure place to stay. A friend of a friend told me about the Action Center and their shelter program, and I decided to visit to see if they had any openings. Luckily, they were able to secure a spot for me, their shelter program, right away. While living in the shelter, I worked closely with my case manager to create goals that would help me on my path to self-sufficiency once I left the shelter. My most important goals were to secure housing, find a job, and get my daughters back. With the help of my case manager, I found a basement apartment to rent and left the shelter after 2 months. But I still didn't have any children or my old life back. After leaving the shelter, I joined the aftercare program, which helps the past shelter residents with the transition from the shelter to the real world. The case manager in the aftercare program helped me keep me on track and accomplish my goals, such as finding a job I loved and getting my children back. My employment agency helped me secure a job at Home Depot. I also have visited the Action Center school supplies and the Santa shop to provide school supplies and Christmas gifts for my daughters. I also know that if I ever need food or clothing assistance in the future, the Action Center will always be there for me. It's great to have ongoing support of the Action Center. I have been a long, difficult journey, but I am happy to say that my life has come a full circle. I now have a great job in gardening at Home Depot. I have won 4 Homer Awards, which are awarded to employees who go above and beyond their duty of job. I just recently moved into a new townhouse in Wheat Ridge, and most importantly, my youngest daughter, Bella, is living with me. She has her own bedroom with bunk bed. I am also, I'm also able to save money from my job for my oldest daughter's wedding next year. In the future, I would like to own another horse, get back into volunteering work at the horse rescue, and would like to move to a larger house with a yard for my daughter to play. But for now, I am taking life one step at a time and using these goals to motivate to keep me on track. I wouldn't be in this place I am today if it wasn't for the Action Center. They helped me when I was at a low point and got me back into my former life. When you give to the Action Center, you're helping people like me get their life back on track. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy, for sharing your story with all of us. And thank you, Meg, for doing the same. As long as I've known you, I have never heard your backstory, and now it all makes sense to me. Everything. My name is Carolyn Windish-Irwin, and I'm the owner of Windish RV Center. I want to thank you all for coming out today to hear about how the Action Center is transforming lives right here in our community. My relationship with the Action Center began about 10 years ago when I did my first tour of their facility, which was the one building crammed to the gills with people and groceries and everything trying to help others. I was amazed at the number of people that were lined up seeking help for themselves and their families. The staff blew me away with their knowledge, compassion, and efficiency in trying to help so many people. I was a part of their board of directors for a while and couldn't believe the amount of talent they had assembled to help the center expand to meet the ever-growing needs of the community. Yes, I love the Action Center. I love what they do. I love how they do it and how efficiently they use our donations to accomplish their mission. So, this morning, my job is to ask you all to join me in support of our mission and to help our neighbors and friends right here in Jefferson County. Together, through the Action Center, I truly believe we can create a stronger, healthier community for a place where no child goes to bed hungry, no senior lives without heat, and no family has to sleep in their car. Today, I ask you to join me in financially supporting the critical work of the Action Center. To provide sustainable funding for the Action Center, we are especially looking to build our self-sufficiency society today. That's a lot of S's to say at one time, so bear with me, right? By making a multiple-year commitment to the Action Center, you can provide a steady stream of revenue that in turn offers the stable services struggling families just so desperately need. If you've been inspired about where you've seen today and heard today, I ask you to consider becoming a member of this caring group of multiple-year donors. I am pleased to announce a special gift today. A group of donors have already staked their commitment to the Action Center and pledged their support in a pooled leadership gift. You've seen their names up on the screen this morning, but I would like to recognize these 59 generous leadership donors for committing $21,500, these big numbers, in advance of today's event. And if you're here, would you stand? Our overall goal today is $600,000. The leadership gift has taken us over half of the way there. Now, I know that raising the remaining $178,500 sounds like a big task, but that's why your multiple-year pledge is so powerful. If you can pledge $1,000 a year for 5 years, that's $5,000 towards our goal. As you consider your gift, there are 2 things that is important for you to know. Number 1, at the Action Center, 90% of all donations we receive goes directly to programming. This goes back to my original statement about how efficient they are with our money. Cash gifts of $100 or more qualify for an additional 25% state tax credit under the Enterprise Zone program. As I said earlier, I am a strong supporter of the Action Center, its programs, and the positive impact on our Jefferson County community. I financially support the center's work and hope you will too. To help encourage you to make the commitment to join the Self-Sufficiency Society, Windish RV will match the first-year pledge payment for every new or renewing Self-Sufficiency Society member as a result of today's breakfast event, up to a total of $25,000. Make your pledge at one of the Self-Sufficiency Society giving levels, and Windish RV Center will match your first pledge payment dollar for dollar. Now, how does that sound as an incentive? But better yet, I am asking you all, and which I never do, to take advantage of me. I never ask people to take advantage of me, not ever, but it would really make me happy if you would, because I probably write 5,000 checks a month and sign those puppies, and I can't think of a better check that I would have more pleasure signing than the check for the Action Center, and I truly believe that. So please take advantage of this offer. I'm hoping you will. Now I'd like to ask the table captains to pass out the pledge forms. So let me quickly walk you through this form. First, let me note for those of you who are already members of the Self-Sufficient Society, we've made a section in the middle of the form for you. The first giving level in the Self-Sufficiency Society is $1,000 a year for 5 years for building hope. For just $84 each month, you can provide 30 people with a 5-day supply of food from our new self-select grocery. The next giving level is $10,000 a year for 5 years. This is our Creating Dreams level. This pledge would fund 3 months of critical case management in our Self-Sufficiency Pathways program for people just like Amy. And look how well it worked out with her. I mean, I can't imagine somebody not wanting to do that. Some of you may be a part of a family foundation or a corporation that's in a position to give more. So the next level is Changing Lives, which lets you have a powerful impact on our community. With your gift of $25,000 a year for 5 years, you could help underwrite the cost of operating the shelter program for 2 weeks out of the year. Now, if the options in the top boxes don't match the gift you are thinking of, you can go right on to the 4th box, the option to give any amount for any number of years. For example, if you would like to pledge $5,000 a year over 5 years for a total gift of $25,000, you can write that in. If you would like to make a one-time gift today, simply check off that box in the payment section. Please keep in mind our goal today and my dollar-for-dollar pledge payment match for new and renewing Self-Sufficiency Society members. With 25 Self-Sufficiency Society pledges today, along with the additional donations, we will raise in excess of the $178,500 goal. Every gift makes an impact. We thank you so much for standing with us to help our neighbors who have nowhere else to turn. Finally, you may have more ideas for us or another way that you would like to contribute. Just check that next box that says, please contact me, and a staff member will give you a call. Thank you for taking your valuable time to come to listen, to learn, and to become engaged in our mission. When you have finished filling out your form, place it in your individual envelope and then pass them back to your table captain. So before we wrap up the program, let me say that on behalf of the 450 people all of the Action Center programs touch each day, we sincerely appreciate you all. Thank you. Oh, let me turn the program back to Leslie Horde.
Thank you, Carolyn. I think next year I'm going to have to sponsor Kleenex boxes or something, at least at my table. Anyhow, Wendy Charvie has been a longtime supporter of our mission, and we truly couldn't do it without the commitment of friends like them. Thank you all for coming. We hope you all share the stories that you've heard today with others. On behalf of the Action Center, we certainly look forward to seeing you on a tour, answering any questions, and engaging you in this vital mission of ours. We have Action Center shopping bags sponsored by LaDawn Sperlin of Coldwell Banker for you to take home today. Please notice we've included our own shopping list of items most needed in the self-select grocery. I want to ask you to consider adding some of those items to your grocery cart the next time you shop. Finally, please leave your name tags with the staff in the lobby as you leave. Have a great day, and thank you very much for being here with us.